shall yield to none.
Almost got me that time.
Prepare yourself.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well, look what the doc dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea. Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea. Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea. Rubbish.
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right. Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
rubbish. Junk.
Empty.
No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic.
Everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not till... In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All past... You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with us.
No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course, but luckily for us both, we're merely sailing the plain old sea.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to... Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sort for your own peace of mind, of course. Yours.
Good gods. This...
A young magister stands pale and silent.
I'll need
Behind
to
the
write
magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your... Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Aren't you enterprising? I'll... Go ahead. She with the body.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, they wouldn't. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their cut. Listen, I could use... Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear any. Yes, this is a rare. So, anything interesting for me? Right. But who?
The pale young woman doesn't...
Nothing to see here.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to
An
the
elf
part that
sits tucked away in a dark spot.
Snake Eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice, deciding fates.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last.
She looks at you in surprise when you bare an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue. Efficient.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. What? You were thinking of flesh. Or, to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh. Those that have eluded you for so long. Of course it is. The truth's right there, skin deep. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret... I don't lick and tell. Don't worry, honey. It isn't your...
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile.
Never say never, though.
One of us would kill her. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we
The woman keeps rolling her dice.
assure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
Surely.
What are you trying to hear?
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at it.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh...
The lizard looks you up and down, Like all of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration, as well as a rather disconcerting... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as... On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Oh, but to feel the caress of satin. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of... the very basics. So, 3 questions asked, As per your own testimony, you can tailor and groom, but you have the taste buds of... Still, beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave. Of course you accept. Mine wasn't an offer, it was an order. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than... Meanwhile, the Magisters feast...
Well, perhaps one of us will kill our own. Picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up? You think me mad? Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely. What are you trying to hear anyway? You one of them? A divine order loyal?
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms... He raises an eyebrow as you...
Listen up, boy. You hear that? What's your name? No. Gods, didn't your mother teach you any manners?
He turns his head toward you.
You look like a boy to me. Listen if you're interested, or get gone if you aren't.
How dare you classify this...
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you.
And?
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I...
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then...
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breech. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise. Pardon my beard. That means if we've been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend...
Captain, actually. And that figure tells me we're...
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce. Never thought you'd end up in prison.
I'm here because I'm magic. Do you know Losa?
Ah, there you are. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing. How very correct you are, What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and...
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
You presume right.
One of us
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too... You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear.
Good luck, Chief.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and examines...
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to...
It is simultaneously too detailed and... Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest. No. I want to know about the... This text tells me that they created all... Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of... Of course you don't have any... Now, please, run along. I have a world to do.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take...
Here to register, sir. Good. You faring okay so far? Glad to hear it. You head on in now.
Keep those knuckles trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their...
So you admit it, then? You murdered that...
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
Oh! What? What happened? The water?
The lizard's eyes close. You shake the lizard by the shoulder. Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like his eyes flicker open.
Lucien.
Ifan cries out. The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She doesn't stir. The Magister lies on the floor.